And happy Mid-Autumn Moon Festival to everybody. It's a big deal for us, actually. I read a little bit more about it, and I realized it's really like a big Thanksgiving gathering type of deal for the Chinese people, right? You know, you get your family gathered together, have big meals, just, we don't have football, so I imagine we watch like Chinese dramas and things of that nature, maybe soccer games. Maybe I guess in China now they're probably watching like NBA finals or something like that, right? So very interesting holiday. I didn't really place too much emphasis on it before because growing up as a kid, you kind of just follow what your parents did. But I think definitely I want to go ahead and embrace my heritage a little bit more. So I want to welcome you to the stream, and today we're going to be doing some farming, chatting a little bit on the War of Divisions. And then we're going to be doing some mooncake live. I guess they call it what, food bun or whatever it is called? Food bun, food something. But yeah, turns out mooncakes are not very cheap. They're pretty expensive. But we made some purchases. We actually bought 2 different kinds. And you guys get to see me unveil them live on the stream. Right now I'm finishing up my dailies. I'm just gonna be doing a little farming. I'm trying to really get my resonance up. That's definitely something that's kind of harming me a little bit because I did get Odin recently and I really want to kind of just really get some of that resonance up on some of my espers along with my units. So this should be the last farming I do, and then I will probably do maybe a couple arena matches to start off the stream and see if some more folks jump on in the stream there. Generally speaking, I notice when I start the stream, it takes like a good half an hour for people to kind of trickling in. Then again, it's also a Thursday night. I think a lot of streamers stream on Thursdays, but because it's an actual holiday today, I want just to make sure I stream tonight. So we're gonna be showing you the mooncakes, and of course I have my delicious drink. This is a Taiwanese green tea made with mineral water. And inside of it, I also put some lychee drink, like a lychee soft drink. It's like more like a lychee syrup. I got something on my lip here. For those who don't know what lychee is, it's kind of like this tropical fruit. It's kind of red on the outside, has a tough skin. It looks like a reptilian egg shell of some kind. And then as you're ripping apart, inside of it is like these white, meaty, sweet flesh of it, and then inside there's a big seed or core. But it's very good, actually. Yeah, that's really good tea. And then we're gonna be opening up some mooncakes. But let's first get some. I think we need to get some arena action going. I've been really kind of sticking with the same team lately. But I really just try to use like these 2 as attackers, and then either have a tank or a healer to back them up. So I'm gonna remove, right, because I was using Venera to gain points because that's part of the unit bonus. And I don't have him very high, and then she's actually a pretty high level, but I think Venera can definitely be a future damager for me, so to speak. So let's do one without it. Normally I'll be trying to climb the ladder a little bit, but generally speaking, it's still hard to maintain. I think maybe let's go with 3 attackers, right? Why not? Let's go with 3 attackers. I think she's actually pretty solid. Let's give her this weapon. And let's give her a hat, a dodge hat. And then let's give her some extra accuracy. And let's give her a damage one. I'm really trying to raise the resonance on this so you can see resonance. I need to have them both go up. And then I think I got slash attack. Since I'm going for a straight up attack, I think I'm gonna go with the speed. And then I'm gonna go with Diablos here. I think this will work. Since we're going for attacking units, I think we can really pretty much attack anything. As long as there's not a lot of healers, because I will not be able to outlast against a team that has healers. Like this one has a healer, but these are really weak units, so to speak. I wonder if I could look up resonance on them. Can I look this up? No, you can't. So let's do it. Let's attack this team. You know, we got nothing to lose. I think he's gonna buff. Let me go back and check my TMRs real quick. He's gonna use a shield. She's gonna cast illusion. I have him on samurai. He's gonna cast illusion. I just want to make sure I have the right skills turned off. So I think I'm gonna switch. I think I want her to have samurai as well. So let me go ahead and switch her up to samurai. And then I don't think ideally I want her to be ninja. Even actually maybe dragoon would be kind of sweet. So I don't think I'm gonna turn off hide here. Confirm dream within a dream is not even leveled up. That's hilarious. Yikes. I should have that turned on. Shadowbind is really, really good. That needs to be turned on. I think I'm gonna turn off Shoryuken, to be honest. So hi, Dream, Utsusemi. I think I want Utsusemi. So let's see if we can get that. Meditation, I want that to be off. Hind, that needs to be on. Devotion needs to be off. And because my Orlando is going to be casting illusion, maybe I just don't need to have her cast illusion, just cast Utsumi. So let me go ahead and level up some stuff here. There's also Thursday Night Football, but that's on a Thursday Night Football is on NFL Network, so I will not be able to watch that anyways. I want her to be casting this. This is what I want her to do. So I turned off illusion for now because I have another one that's casting illusion. So I think I want her to be using this skill. And don't want her to use Shoryuken. Shadowbind, I want her to use Shadowbind. Night Veil is maxed. So Dragon Blade, just level this up too. There you go. We're gonna test this out. Let's take her out for a spin. Let's see what happens, right? Let's go and see if we can find that team we're attacking. I believe it had a symbol. Yeah, there we go. It should be okay, I think. Wait a second, I'm pretty sure I turned illusion off on her. So now we're just gonna go double evasion, whichever one erases over the other one, hopefully. There she is, she casts the can't hit me spell. Wow, did she just wipe my team? Yeah, she did. Wow, that was terrible. I just got destroyed. I guess they moved too fast during that side. That was really odd, actually. That was a terrible loss. That was a gamble on their side though, because they got that Mediana up really, really fast. I think maybe I should have switched the units around. But going with 3 attackers, it seems like it's a big gamble as is. Ooh. Ooh, that's a nasty team. I would like to test against her though. But she's gonna wipe my team. Everyone's still using tanks on global. People are going with the safe route. Double gunners, huh? That might not end well, actually. Well, this one. See, everyone's going with the safe team, and this guy already started farming up. Is that the rune blade? No, that's not the rune blade. That's not the rune blade. I think I need to go with perhaps magic resistance. He had a magic resistance. If we have another loss, then I think that would be pretty devastating. Let's try this. Let's try that thing. Let's try that thing. But let me figure out why he keeps casting your illusion. I turned that off, I thought. No, I did not turn it off. I guess I didn't hit confirm. This one turned off? Yes, good. Okay. So now she's not gonna go and try to buff illusion against him. This might be a tough match too, but we'll see how it goes because it's just a matter of trading hits, right? Miss. Miss. Wow, I missed too. That's no good. Miss. Got him. Wait, why is he using Kungu? Nice. Niveled her to death. Well, I guess that was just a matter of dying either way to him. Oh, there you go. I got to stop in there. I think that might be GG, boys and girls. There we go. Stop is so good. Stop is so good. I think that's why people really want the ribbon. Alright, 2 matches there. Let's do my guild battle because I think I'm supposed to be doing some guild battles. I think we're already pretty up ahead. So right now our guild is in Platinum 1. Let me show you real quick. Platinum 1. And it's pretty rough. It's pretty tough, man. There's some really tough defenses that I'm going up against. It's hard to defeat these guys. And most of them are like whales and things. And they have really good gear. And they probably have really high statues on their end. Last time I attacked a team that was 2,000 physical attack power and 1,000 magic power. That was a big no-no. I should have done that. That was. Looks like there's not that many teams left, so it looks like my pick is going to be probably between these 3 guys. And you kind of have to really study their power. So this team is all magic. All magic. This team has some physical power. This team might be the tougher team to beat. Actually, don't I know Caleb? Maybe I do know that guy. Let's go after Key Bits. This is a lot of power though. I should be able to hit them pretty hard because I should be able to hit them pretty hard. Let's think about this, right? Because they probably have a healer and a magic dealer. And I don't really fear magic as much, but I don't have much choice. Like, I'm anti-slashing, but there is no real anti-slashings. As long as it's not a Mandiana that comes and kills my whole team, I'm okay with it. Ah, we get to see Frevia in action, finally. I haven't seen her ever since they were boosting her up in terms of talking about her and things like that, so. Okay, stop strike didn't trigger on me. I didn't get a stop on him either. That holy did nothing. That's not too bad, but she heals, right? She's gonna be able to get a heal off. Oh man, killed her. Got the haste off, see what happens. She decided to heal herself, or heal her buddy instead of healing herself. No, I don't think this is gonna work, because I'm not doing enough damage to kill the tank. Oh, there she goes. That's the fear, is when the magic dealer comes towards me. Yep, that's it, boys. GG. I think someone can come in and snipe this team off, because I think the problem I went in against this team was the fact that my two teams went after the tank, and I had a shot to kill Frevia. And rain is very devastating. Rain is pretty devastating. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have attacked him. I should have just went ahead and attacked a slashing team, right? But the thing is, all of these teams have magic dealers, so that's going to be a problem. I guess I could have probably went after this team. But chances are they probably have gunners, and that's one thing I'm learning. Like, seems like these platinum defenses have a lot of gunners, and that's very obnoxious. All right, for those of you that are in here, I'm gonna run some farming sessions maybe, and see if you guys want to join in. If you guys want to join in, that's cool. If not, I'm just gonna open up to the public and just kind of run and do a few runs, and then I'm going to open up some mooncake. I was actually surprised I did a lot better than that fight than I usually do, because usually sometimes I can't even get a dent in there against the enemy teams. But definitely working on the resonance would have helped. I think if I would have had that, my resonance to 10 out of 10, I may be able to one-shot that Frevia potentially. So I've done the challenge, and I think the brutal is pretty hard. The brutal is actually really challenging. Oh, not that one. Sorry, guys. Hit the wrong button. So the brutal is pretty tough. So maybe I should just do this real quick. But really the challenge was the fact that Ifrit hits pretty hard. And every time the new monk comes up, the monk keeps casting Quicken on Ifrit. So unless your team is fast enough to hurry up and kill that stupid monk, then Ifrit can just keep going off, and that's really obnoxious. But yeah, I don't feel like doing that on camera. It seems like I don't usually like gameplay live, because I could usually make a jackass out of myself. But let's see if I can find some multi-rooms to run. I think this week has been very lax, and I'm really kind of glad that's going on, because I think the last month has been very taxing, right, in terms of farming for things. So I'm actually enjoying the sort of a pseudo break, even though, you know, ideally I should be farming a lot of this weapon in particular, but I don't know if that's, I mean, it's not really a necessity per se, right? I think slash attack and slash resistance is actually a big thing according to the players that are in the top arena. They're telling me that that's like a legitimate meta for them. And for the rest of us, it's still, as you saw, a lot of tanks usage, a lot of random units usage. So I think I'm gonna farm some books. I think I'm gonna go with the armor because I could use a lot more armor. So if you guys want to join in, feel free. I'm gonna put on password first and then give you guys maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes to do this. And then if you guys don't want to join, I'll open up to the public and then I'll start, I think maybe around 9:30 because I just had a big meal. I had this humongous meal tonight. And I will talk about that in a little bit. See if you guys are interested in learning about what I ate for dinner, but we did some good cooking tonight. It was very good. So I'm still pretty stuffed. And usually mooncakes are pretty heavy in calories, so. And they're not cheap. They're like pretty expensive. So it's like, generally speaking, you want to share the mooncake. You don't want to eat the whole thing by yourself. It's pretty heavy. A lot of butter, a lot of sugar, right? But I'm gonna open one up, cut it up, and then show you guys what the inside looks like. But for dinner, I made eggplant. I made a roasted eggplant. What's going on, guys? I made a roasted eggplant with like this is called picnic. It's like basically it's like the hind leg where imagine where your thigh would be connected to your body. It's that part of the body of the pig. It's called a picnic cut, right? So I slow cooked that for about 4 hours, and then it has skin on it. So I chopped it up in tiny little pieces. I kind of sauteed it a little bit with olive oil, and then of course Chinese herbs and spices. All right, let's just go. I think 3 is good. Welcome Saucy and welcome Ryan. And then what I did was I threw in thinly cut Chinese eggplants or Japanese eggplants, whatever you want to call them. They're the really thin purple ones. And then just kind of cooked it, stir fry a little bit, add some water, and then just kind of like simmered it for a little bit, stewed it for maybe like 20 minutes. Nice and tender, so it's all broken down. And then at the very end, right before you serve it, I put in some fresh garlic. Man, it's very tasty. And then my fiance actually made Chinese roasted pork. Now, generally speaking, roasted pork is done by cooking the whole pig, right? You just kind of like, you know, like a 100-pounder, 200-pound pig, and you just slow roast the whole pig. And the key is you want to rub it with salt to drain the moisture out of the skin. And as the heat is hitting the skin over time, it creates this bubbling effect on the skin. And as a result, it makes it crispier because much of the moisture has been sucked out with the salt. And then of course you have the different cuts of the pork, right? Because you're roasting the whole pork. So when they sell it, they just ask you, do you prefer a fattier cut or do you prefer a leaner cut? Obviously, the fatter the cut, the more tasty it is, because you know it's fat. It's basically lard, right? But what we're doing is we're just taking pork belly, essentially bacon, if you think about it, but it's really thick, right? Pork belly, you know, just maybe about 2 inches thick, and then you make into long strips. And then what we do is, well, what she does, I should say, she would just rub it with salt. And then we bought a new barbecue thing. It's called the Ninja, I guess it's called a Ninja, what's it called? Ninja air fryer / griller thing. And I haven't bought it out, like since we purchased our home, I haven't bought a barbecue set. Maybe I'll do that next year. Because the pandemic hit, you know, this was the year that I plan on actually doing a lot of barbecue and things of that nature. But unfortunately, couldn't happen because, you know, social distancing and whatnot. You know, it wasn't going to be a good mix if you're throwing a lot of parties. Anyway, so we bought the Ninja air fryer, and it's actually really, really good. Oh, it's a Victora. I'm building mine, so hopefully mine will come up soon. But so anyway, so you cook it with the pork belly, and you just roast it, and you roast it for like I don't know, 10 minutes, and then you start removing the salt that's on the crusted part. And then what that's going to do is it's going to create this bubbling effect on the skin. And then you roast it for another 10-15 minutes, and then when you're done, you cut it into cubes, and you can dip it in hoisin sauce, or you can dip in whatever sauce you want. But generally speaking, I just prefer to eat it by itself because the salt is being absorbed by the skin as well. And then the skin is like nice and crispy. So right when you serve it, right when you finish cooking it, it's like taking a bite of heaven, I guess. It's the best way to explain it. It's very tasty, very tasty. And then what else did I make? I just made a plate of Chinese vegetables, stir-fried, of course. And then, of course, we actually went to the Korean store for grocery shopping. So I bought some kimchi, I bought some daikon radish, and just some white rice. And I also bought a bunch of shrimp that I was gonna cook, but we figured that would have been too much food. So tomorrow I'll make the shrimp, and then I'll make some Chinese barbecue pork fried rice. That's gonna be delicious too. So yeah, we're gonna have a little feast for a couple of days. And then of course next week we're starting to go back to work again. Because originally this chunk of time, like this whole week, this chunk of time we were supposed to actually travel. We were originally dedicated this time to, I think we were supposed to go to Taiwan. But unfortunately that didn't happen. So what we're doing is we were just gonna kind of hang out and celebrate, you know, at home kind of thing. So it is a shame. It is what it is, but you know, what can you do, right? Better be safe than sorry. And right now, like I was watching the news actually just before I hopped on the game. In Japan, they're starting to see more cases because they're also starting to slowly opening up their country. And right now in Tokyo, they're seeing more cases. So I think definitely traveling anytime soon is not going to be a reality, unfortunately. So. And for those of you that's just joined, I'm going to be doing the mooncake opening at 9:30 p.m. So that's another half an hour. I think Thursdays there's a lot of the World Visions players or content creators. I think they do streaming, so it's one of those things where you kind of have to, like, unfortunately compete for viewers. And I'm not here to compete for viewers. I was just doing it because of just so happens that the holiday lands today, right? It's a Thursday. I'm learning that Friday is best for me. Friday is usually the best time to stream for me because, you know, more people usually don't work on Friday, you know, Saturdays obviously, so it seems to be a bigger turnout, but it doesn't really matter. I'm still gonna do what I plan on doing just because the fact that it's still gonna be on YouTube. And right now I'm only streaming on YouTube. Maybe in the future I'll think about Twitch. Some people already recommended I should just switch to Twitch because it's a lot easier to follow. You know, because they just do a pop-up notice and people can just log on and watch the videos. Because I don't think there's pop-ups. Wow, sorry about that. That's a motorcycle. Because I don't think YouTube have like pop-ups showing you. I don't know if how the notification works. Because I know when I'm subscribed to someone's channel and they do a live stream or whatever, I don't get notifications of that, like live, no ping or anything. So, but tomorrow is Friday. I'm gonna keep continuing. For those of you that have been following my recent videos for this entire, starting today, Thursday, October 1st, to October 8th of next Thursday, I'm going to be doing a highlighting of a show, highlighting of a movie, highlighting of something that has a history of Chinese culture involved. And I'll be discussing a little bit more every single video, but I'm still I think I need to make sure I cover a lot of War of the Visions content because people don't want to tune into my channel to watch history, right? They want to tune in to watch World of Visions. But hello, Colorama, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. There's a lot of names I don't recognize here, so Ryan, and unless it's Ryan, it's in my guild. Ryan, what's going on, Ryan? Saucy, I don't know if we played with each other before. I know Colorama we haven't, so So those of you that are new to the stream, welcome. If this is your first time, more than feel free to chat with me, ask me questions, whatever. Seems like a lot of the regulars tonight has not shown up yet because generally speaking, the chat will be pretty flowing right now. It seems like everyone that's watching me right now are very shy. So, hey, Fly Dance, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Not too much. Maybe like, I think the first time I did the Final Fantasy Tactics, I think I spent maybe like $40. And then somewhere in between that, I would say I do the $7.99 thing every month that the $7.99 monthly where you get the gems and you get the skip tickets. I've been doing that since they released that. I think that's been only going on for 3 months. And then I would say from month 3 to month 4 or 5, I probably don't spend like $20 in addition to the $7.99 per month, because I was just basically doing like, I think it was during the Warrior of Light campaign that I spent like, I think it was like $8 or something, $8-9. And then a lot of other times I would just spend the 99 cents, the daily ones, if I feel like something I wanted from the daily thing. But this last one unfortunately I did spend a little bit more than I wanted to, because of the fact that it was a 6-month celebration and there was a lot of content I felt like it was worthy of doing on the channel. And on top of it, I'm slowly integrating the spenders aspect into my channel, right? Because originally my aspect was just to do free to play. But I say all in all, probably like $100 to $200 maybe. And I think the return of that is pretty good, because I'm not gonna lie, like I used to spend a couple of $1,000s easily every couple of weeks on Masterpiece Transformers. And because this is kind of like becoming my main hobby, so to speak, right now, I think spending a little bit cash here and there to support your hobby, it's something that's warranted, especially if you love it. If you just kind of do it for fun, like I used to play gacha games for fun, and I would rarely spend money because I didn't take them seriously. But with this game, I'm having pretty much, I would say, the most fun I've ever had in my entire life in terms of gaming. And so for me, the gacha aspect, it's very tempting, right? You guys probably go through this every day, but it's very tempting. They're waving the little banners in front of you, but most of the time I don't tend to spend to summon, because having a lot of units doesn't really do anything for you. It's better to have equal power in terms of vision cards, equipment, and espers, and then of course just enough units so you can get through the content. Wow, okay. So what have you been spending on? Because if you dropped 200 already in 3 weeks, it would be interesting to know what packages are you buying yourself and what is your goal. Because the way I look at it is, it's not hard to get level 99s during the right situations. For example, right now we're giving the opportunity to pretty much level 99 the new Stern, right? The Golden Armor Stern, or as they call it, KOR Stern, Knight of Ruin Stern. You can actually 99 him. And by the way, if you're subscribed to the channel, tomorrow I'm going to be releasing a video talking about exactly where you're at, Fly, as a beginner to the game, because I want to really make sure I hit that on the head with people, that it is actually quite easy to do what you seek out to do. So if you're spending money on top of all the free gems that you have gotten, then it will be interesting to know what you've been spending your money on. So in 3 weeks, you've been working on the 5 units. Are you working on all UR units? This will be the question I have for you. By the way, those of you who just joined, green tea with some lychee soft drink that doesn't have carbonation. So it's kind of more like a lychee syrup. Man, super great combination. Super good combination, by the way. That's like my go-to drink, because green tea helps with digestion and things like that. Yeah, so if you haven't been subscribed to the channel, I recommend subscribing to the channel so you can get up-to-date content. And I think the next couple of weeks, I really want to kind of start hitting on beginner's guides. Again, not necessarily guides per se, but what I suggest doing as if I was restarting the game. That will be tomorrow's topic of conversation. So that's rule number one right there, is as a beginner, you don't want to hit 5 URs at once. So I'm going to go ahead and assume, well, you still haven't said yet, but what have you spent the $200 on? Like, what packages have you been buying? Because you join in right at a good time, right? You're getting free summons. Last week was all free guaranteed UR, so you probably have tons of URs on in your roster. And then of course you're getting all these opportunities if you've been spending, and I imagine $200, that's like almost 4 $80 packs. So I'm not sure what you're buying with your gems, with your paid gems, but recently I've been kind of telling folks what I suggest spending your paid gems on. Maybe you can go back and kind of watch some of those videos. But since during the stream you're asking me this question, my suggestion is don't buy gems to summon. That is like the common mistake in this game. Literally every other gacha game that I ever played, that's what most people do. They buy packages to summon because people, as supporter of content, they like to watch people summon. So for them, that's what they do while they're streaming or whatever. But for me, that's not the right way to spend your money in this game. The best way to spend your money is to buy packages that is a really good deal, and then use the gems that you get with those packages to buy either evolving materials or shards for the units that you're building. And if you're building 5 URs, you're going to be running out of materials very fast. So one other thing, wow, I'm already out of energy. Okay. So one of the first problem with this game is UR units takes 600 shards to level max. And you're gonna hit the wall when you start running out of available shards for the units. This is why you're not hitting level 99 fast enough. Gotcha. So I think you haven't really made too much mistakes, but if you're spending your gems on rare summons, that is a mistake. Because summoning this game, hoping for units that you need, it's not a good idea, because unless it's a guaranteed, right? You're just joining where you can get a lot of guaranteed units. So I'm not sure if you've done your research in terms of the strength and weaknesses of the different UR units and what they shine in, like what content they shine in, right? Because every unit in this game is great, regardless of their rarity. But there is some indication of where certain units need to be used better at and than others. So generally speaking, there are going to be utility units that are going to be good. Hey Koi, how you doing, buddy? They're going to be, nope, we haven't done any mooncake eating yet, so you haven't missed much. So at 9:30 I'm going to be eating some mooncakes. Happy Festivus. Happy Festivus to the rest of us. Happy Festivus. Oh, festival. So generally speaking, you want to don't concentrate on all UR units. You want to ideally work on 1 to 2 UR units because of what I said, right? You have your limitations of getting the 600 shards. That's your number 1 wall. Your number 2 wall is going to be the rainbows, which for you is not really a wall since you're a spender. But my suggestion is get the free units worked out, right? If you have no level 99s, that means you didn't work on your mod, because mod is very easy. It should only take you maybe a week to get a level 99 mod, to be honest. Very easy to do, because you can buy his shards for gold, or gil in this game as they're called, in the shops. And each time you refresh the shop, or the shop refreshes itself, you have a 50% chance to get mod, 5 shards of him in the shop. And the lower rarity units require less amount of unit shards in order to get to limit break 5. So you don't necessarily need to have a level 99 UR unit. Level 89 is actually considered a sweet spot for all units, because that's when they have access to pretty much everything from their grid. And then on top of it, from 89 to 99 is really just the extra boost in stats. And for most units, 89 is actually sufficient enough for you to conquer content in this game and even be competitive in arena/PvP. So personally, I don't think you need to worry too much about not raising a level 99 fast enough. Like, you don't have to enjoy mod. Like, I understand, like, he's not good looking in terms of, you know, whatever. He's just your cookie cutter free unit, but he's actually very, very good if you're a beginning player. And even if you're a spender, using him as your first tank until you get your UR tank up is actually a good way to progress, right? Like, if you're trying to jump to, say, I don't know who you have as your tank, but let's say you didn't do Engelbert, so let's say you're doing someone else. Let's say you're doing Whisper. Okay, let's say you're doing Whisper as a tank. She's actually very hard to build as a beginner. It takes a lot of resources to get there. And unless you're spending thousands, you're not getting those resources fast enough. Even $200 is probably not going to be enough for you to get the resources to get him powered up. And that's the thing, this game is very expensive. Like, if you're going to spend a couple of $100, honestly, isn't even all that much in terms of gaining resources. A lot of it is through time. Through a couple of months, you should be pretty solid. Like, I think in my third month is when I start seeing the fact that I was able to do really good things in this game. Yeah, that one's really nice. But personally, I like the skip ticket ones because I was actually talking to a guildie a couple of months ago. At that point, there was no way to purchase skip tickets. But if you get skip tickets, you can do things much quicker, right? Obviously, you could, because there's only so much time during the day. And each farming map, it takes roughly, I would say 1 minute to 3 minutes per run. So just imagine that. If you're skipping through 10 extra over someone else, then you're saving yourself 30 minutes of runs every day. 30-minute runs times 7 days a week, we're talking about 2 hours there, right? Wait a sec, what am I saying? 210 minutes divided by 60, that's almost 4 hours. So it definitely adds up. Time is money, right? So if you're spending real life cash, buying skip tickets is a good way to do it. I think those are always good. If you see skip ticket offers, those are good 99-cent purchases. But generally speaking, the basic rule of thumb is pick 5 units to build, which you have done, but don't pick 5 UR units to build because you're not going to get all of them to even level 79 fast enough, because the game is very restrictive on the shards that you get. So unless you're spending, I would say, 5 grand and just using the rare summons to do 5 grand's worth of summons, the chances of you seeing the shards, extra copies of the UR that you're looking for while you're building them, is very slim. And on top of it, you join the time where we're already at the point where there's over 100 units, right, in the game, maybe? I would say there's probably like 90 units, maybe? But UR alone, there's over 20 plus. Maybe closing in on 30. So the fact that you need 600 shards, and if they're not featured in the shops fly, then the chances of you getting them to level or limit break 4 or 5 within a 3-week period, I would say is near impossible. So that's the first thing you need to fix, is see if you have units of different rarities that you can build quickly. Because I'm thinking you're going for the, I need to get 5 level 99s as quickly as possible so I can clear content mentality. And which is fair. And since you're a spender, you have a huge advantage over a majority of the players out there. So again, I'll have to tell you this tomorrow, but I already have 2 units that's almost limit broke 4, and I started that account roughly at the same time you did. and it's a complete free-to-play account. And so it's all about strategy. It's all about how you approach it. And spending money doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be progressing faster than someone else without the proper strategies. And I know it's a lot easy for me to say, hey, just go watch all the videos I've done on the strategies as a beginner or whatever. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to say is, I think if you want to fix what you're doing, make sure you don't concentrate on 5 UR units. And pick maybe 2. Pick 2 units and then start working on units that you can quickly get to level 99 because of those shards. So my suggestion is go that route. Since you joined 3 weeks ago, I don't think you have Gafgarion. Do you have Gafgarion? Were you here during the Final Fantasy Tactics? I think you were then. Final Fantasy Tactics ended about a week ago. So you should have Gafgarion. And if you did the quests for Final Fantasy Tactics, then you should have Gafgarion potentially at level 99. In Gafgarion, it's definitely a must build, no matter what background you are from, whether you're free to play or spender. Yeah, do that. You should have Gafgarion. Oh, you didn't have enough shards. So that means you didn't farm enough, or you joined in at the last week of Final Fantasy Tactics Part 2. How close is he to Limit Break 4? I think that's all you need him is Limit Break 4. Well, I mean, for now, obviously. You want him to get to 99 because he's low on the hit points, but he hits very, very hard. I can't tell you how to play the game because if you tell me you don't like Mont, because a lot of people don't like Mont, it's hard for me to make a suggestion on a different unit that potentially you can get to level 99 fast. My suggestion then at that point is maybe go for like an SR unit of some kind. Phoebe, like if you need a supporting unit, Phoebe actually should be your #1 choice. I got a total of 208. Okay, so I think you need 500 something. No, let me take that back. You need exactly 500. So yeah, he right now will be kind of useless for you. My suggestion is look at your 4 or 5 URs, pick 2 of them or 3 of them, and try your best to get those units to at least level 79. And then maybe work on Phoebe, because Phoebe, in my opinion, is like a really good unit. And on top of it, her Trustmaster is one of the better ones in the game because it gives you agility. So I know a lot of top players still use that TMR, even in harder content. So my suggestion is since you summon so much, you may have enough shards to get her to at least 89, maybe 79. So replace one of your URs and use her. Seeing Gilgamesh shards destroy this. Yeah, I know, I'm tempted too, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger on the free-to-play right now. I think I'm still Limit Break 2 on him. You just need him to be Limit Break 4. Just Limit Break 4 for Gilgamesh. He will start tearing things up. 99 it's very tough to do. Even spenders are very tough to do. There's plenty of spenders over all this time. They still haven't built a level 99 one. Because if you think about it, a Gilgamesh is equivalent to 2 URs. I think Fly, you probably should have gone for the Super Sexy Stern. Because I think you could have got him to Limit Break 4 and spend, I would say, $80, and you should be able to get him to Limit Break 4. And he's strong enough to be your main attacker for a long time. And then have Phoebe, have Mont as your tank. What's going on, Sean? How you doing? 9 minutes away, we're getting the East of Mooncake, bro. 9 minutes away, man. I'm excited. I haven't had a mooncake in like years. You are Super Sexy Nash. Not today. Maybe 10 years ago, I would have been Super Sexy Nash. Because I was actually hitting the gym pretty good back in the days. Right now, I'm more like pudgy. I'm more like a pudgy Nash. But I think tonight I gained probably like 2 pounds easy. I think tonight I gained like 2 pounds because the food that we ate was so good. We had roasted pork. Whew, that's so good, man. Roasted pork and eggplant. That's like one of my favorite dishes is eggplants. I love eating eggplant. Although it's not very super nutritious, eggplants. It's mostly water, but it's very tasty. And you have to be careful with cooking eggplants because they tend to absorb oil very fast. There's not much to farm, folks. There ain't much to farm right now, right? Aren't you guys happy that there's not much to farm though? Many of you are probably like hanging out, like many of you are probably like rejoicing on the fact that this week is not a whole lot to farm. The Room Blade, I'll probably can get that done in like a couple of days, to be honest. If I was to go hardcore, which I probably will do that. And I'm content. I think I'm just missing one recipe for the ribbon to get a +3. Because I remember Cabbage made that little announcement of him. He's like, I'm done with a limit break or a +3 ribbon. I'm thinking, I'm honestly done with a +2 ribbon. But I went ahead and pushed a little bit more, and I think I got 14 recipes. You need 15 to get a +3, right? So I'm one recipe short, but I'm honestly not too worried about it because, like, I think evasion-wise, if you have the hat, because you need to have a slot for a weapon, you need to have a slot for armor, you need to have a slot for accessory. You can have two accessories, and if your TMR is a weapon, then that will work, right? But the thing is, my understanding is some stats don't stack, right? Accuracy doesn't stack, but evasion does stack. Am I right? So if you have the ribbon and the hat, do those stack? If those don't stack, then there's no reason to do it, right? So then you're relying on your vision cards and your Esper. So, and I think it makes more sense if you're the hardcore player to go for the strategy of getting 2 +4 ribbons instead of 1 +5. Because if you're going for an evasion team, ideally you want to have 2 units that are fully evasive and 1 unit that's just something else, right? Either a disruptor, like a dispeller, maybe status ailment person, whatever. Having the full 3 evasion units, that's kind of hard to do. And I'm still having nightmares about fighting against that Venera that literally one-shotted my entire team. I'm still having nightmares about that. And that doesn't feel very good. But today, like actually this past week, I've been very happy playing this game. Like I'm very relaxed. I'm at the point where I know exactly what I want to do, and at the same time, there's not a lot of events going on, so that makes me feel really relaxed. Correct. You're absolutely right about that. What are you all playing? What am I playing, like in terms of other games? Is that what you're asking me? Oh, I'm farming books. Yes. After this run, I'll give you some time to join in. We're just farming some books. Because besides the Rune Blade, there's nothing else going on, right? Unless you're farming for Elchrists, which I did that earlier. I farmed some ice to finish off the free-to-play account. Last week I did ice for my spenders account, and I'm completely done with all ice. And then I did some water farming for my Miranda on my spenders account earlier today. And next week I'll finish that up because you need 210 red Elchrists to finish all 3 jobs. So I'm moving along pretty nicely. Now, and this is the pace that I personally enjoy. Like, give me 2 events per week, right? And then give me a rerun of another event, maybe like 2 reruns. So for any player, they want to say go back and farm an additional +5 equipment, they could do that, or they can farm the new event. Actually, technically speaking, we have 2 events going on, right? We have the ribbon event, and then we have the room blade event, and then of course we have the books. That's it. There's the only 3 things going on. And next week I think is Glaciala, because that's in the October free shards, free unit shards. So we're probably getting Glaciala next week. A lot of people are anticipating her. I'm not really, honestly, like, I know she's really good, but for me, I haven't really read too much about her. Just been kind of getting information from the hearsay department. But she's a piercing unit, so I think I'll wait for Kane, honestly. I think Glaciala will come eventually, just like how Victor landed in my lap, you know. So anytime you're ready, Chung, we got room for one more. I'm excited. Only a few more minutes. All of those of you are in here are probably wanting to see me do some food bun, whatever that's called. Whatever that's called. You're eating some food live. That's actually a legitimate thing. Wait, is that you? I don't think that's you, right? You're not King. Oh, well, buddy. Looks like your spot has been taken. It's all good. Oh, look at this. Hey, BB King. Please say something in the channel. Say something in the chat, please. Or wait a second. Is that you? Oh, that's you. Okay. You changed your name. I see. You joined a new guild. Because I know that's not your name. I've never seen your name like that before. Dude, you got a 99 super sexy stern. Congratulations, man. That's pretty hot. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me show you guys. We're almost there. So let's show you guys the mooncakes. I'm going to give you guys some time to zoom in there. This is a Hong Kong brand. This is a very good brand. It's called, I guess it's called Pretty Heart. That's the Beautiful Heart, I guess is the way to do it. Beautiful Heart mooncake. It's trademarked. I got you. All right, fair enough. Well, whatever's. So let me see. Move it up. There's the art there. They give you a bag apparently. So let's unveil the mooncake. It's like a tin can. It's like a tin can. Let me see if this will capture in the camera there. As you can see, it's like, you know, light metal. The ones that you can put stuff in. I think that's the idea. Is like you eat the mooncake, okay, and then you use the container and you can store money in it to kind of like bring you like prosperity, I guess. So let me get this next thing going. And let's see, Hong Kong mixed mooncakes, White Lotus, seed paste, White Lotus. So that's gonna be interesting. All right. It's not Bing P. I got that too. I got Bing P as well. YouTube auto change to your stream. I was driving to work. Well, is that good or bad? I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but welcome to the stream. Looks like you're here. All right, let's open it up. Or is it the traditional kind? It's the traditional kind, but the Bing P is coming too. So there's your thing. Just want to show you that I have not tainted with it because it's individually packaged. And so this box was like $47. I'm not sure if they added taxes. I'm sure they added taxes as well. So we're talking about almost 50 bucks for this thing, man. 50 bucks, right? And you only get 4. But the thing is, generally speaking, you're supposed to share these because these are heavy in calories. Let me just hold on to these things while I turn to the back. And I failed doing that. Let's see. So let me just take them all out. I'm gonna show you if you guys can read that. It says 170 calories, okay? But the thing is, it says 170 calories for a quarter of one mooncake. So that is like, what is that? My math is going to be pretty rough, but it's going to be 680 calories for one of these bad boys. So we're talking about like equivalent to a Big Mac or a double Whopper with cheese or something. That's how many calories is in these things. So we're going to open one up. We're going to put those back. Or if you think about it, that's equivalent to one of those small Haagen-Dazs ice cream, like, you know, those $5 ones, you know, that are only like that big. You know, I remember I used to eat tons of those. And one of those tiny little containers is roughly 600 something calories. So that means one mooncake, folks, is equivalent to one Haagen-Dazs container of ice cream. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this to the side. And then we'll keep going with the farming. All right, let's get that to the side there. And I got my knife and plate. And we're gonna open it up and we're gonna cut and show you guys what the inside looks like. So apparently there's a storyline with Mid-Autumn Moon Festival, right? So basically Mid-Autumn Moon Festival is kind of like Thanksgiving in our culture. And basically farmers are getting ready to harvest their food or whatever, and they're just sitting down to have a nice happy meal with their family, kind of like giving their thanks and things like that. But with all Chinese background things, there's always stories they attach to it. And one of the stories I looked up, apparently there's like a good... Where's the candle? I don't have any lanterns, man. We thought about getting it, but we didn't get any. But it's like, there's a good part of the story and there's a bad part to the story. I know, right? I just had some yesterday. Yum, I know, it is very good. And so the good part of the story is apparently this guy, he's a very famous guy and he's very powerful. And a lot of people, like, you know, they look up to him. And this one person decided to grant him like this immortality elixir. And one of his students happens to try to steal the elixir. And his wife, his name is Tian'e, or in other words, I think it's like flying Chang'e, sorry, long goose, or roughly translated, I think it's long goose. Or long swan. Something like that. Anyway, so the wife decided that she wanted to protect the husband, and so she decided to take the elixir and fly to the moon to hide the elixir or something like that. That's why when you look at the moon, like, you know, when you see the moon from a distance, you see there's a shape, even though that's pretty much just the terrain of the moon. And then people say is that's where she's residing now. She's residing in the moon. That's why we see a silhouette of her inside of the moon. Some moon cakes, they do put secret notes. Okay, apparently my boy wants some of this moon cake too. Tian'e is a pretty lady. I don't think it's a swan or goose. Maybe. I don't know the actual storyline, because apparently there's different versions of even that storyline. But yes, ultimately it's just this pretty lady. That's the husband, right? That's the wife of the husband of the storyline. And one version was that she took the elixir so no bad person could get their hands on it. Another version was like something negative, like someone, like she was a bad person and she stole it from him and she wanted to keep it for herself. Either way, it ends up being that she went up to the moon to live in the moon or something like that. No, I'm definitely not giving a dog. So let's show you guys what the moon cake looks like for those of you who haven't seen one. That's what it looks like. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on that one right there. I'll hold it here to see if I'll zoom. Hopefully it'll zoom in. My camera is actually pretty good. It's supposed to be one of the best for streaming. And then for those of you notice this, but I have this bright light shining on me. I actually bought one of those portable, my fiance actually bought one of those portable, well, actually it says something here. It says White Road something. But it has the brand of it. And then it says something about, I don't know, I can't read all the words. My Chinese is pretty bad. All right, let's cut this up into quarters. Is there egg yolk inside? I don't know, I'm about to find out. So originally my mom was supposed to make some, but she told me it would take her a week to prepare it for it. So that didn't happen. No, there's nothing in here. Looks like it's just the White Lotus. The White Lotus paste. There's nothing else in here. So if you guys can see that, that's what it looks like on the inside. Very plain looking, surprisingly enough. Very plain looking. Straight up plain looking. Looks like it's just a paste. And then I'm gonna cut into a quarter because that's 170 calories. And I'm not even gonna eat all of it because that's just too much. I had a big dinner, so. For those of you that enjoy this kind of stuff, imagine a pretty young lady, skinny lady, eating up all this food. It seems that to be a very popular thing on the internet nowadays. Let's check that out there. It's just a paste. It's very like kind of transparent-ish. I bet you the one with the yolk is probably even more expensive. I know I saw a $70 one. I saw a $70 pack. Oh my god, that's very good. The taste of it is very sweet, first off. A little bit of creamy. And then it sticks to your palate. Like it sticks to the roof of your mouth. It has this like, it's a lotus paste. So it has this very aromatic taste to it. But surprisingly, it doesn't taste very heavy. My bet is that they put a lot of lard in here. And they put a lot of sugar, right? Lard and sugar, like fat and sugar are gonna be pretty much your best friend in terms of taste. That is very, very good. So, it is too sweet, but I can see this being a very popular food for people to enjoy as a dessert. That is very delicious. Surprisingly, I thought it would be a lot sweeter, but it really isn't. I can look up in the packages later how much added sugar they put in there. But I'm gonna finish that in a little bit because let's do the second one, which you already asked earlier, the Bing Pi, or in other words is, I guess, was that translated to ice skin, right? Ice skin? Here we go. Let me get that going first. And there we are. So this one is, I think it's from the same company. So it says Beautiful Heart. Yeah, it's the same company. And they call it Snow Skin. Yeah, Snow Skin. In this one, we bought the mini version because the big version we saw, it was, I think it was $59. And you get 8 decent sized ones, but we figured that would have been too much for us. So we decided to pick up the mini versions. And this is also from Hong Kong. Like I said, it's from the same company. So calorie wise, it's half a mooncake. There's 4 small ones, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And for half, it's 40 calories and 45 calories. So there's 2 flavors here. one of them has mango with pomelo, and the other one is just mango. The just mango one is a little bit higher in calories. So one mooncake is 90 calories, and with the pomelo one is 80 calories. Oh, this is, we put in the freezer, right? I just took it out. Like my fiance brought it over because we had a timer. Like at 9:30, we'll be tasting it. So this one is ice cold right now. So this one looks like is the mango version right there. And this is the first time I ever gonna have this. And apparently she grew up in Hong Kong, so as a kid she always asked her parents to get this, but her parents never bought this for her. So this is gonna be the first time she's having it as well. So this one has the pomelo one. So as you can see, the difference will be in color, right? The pink one is gonna have the pomelo, and then the other one is gonna have just the mango. So we're gonna open one of each. We need to taste this on camera. I never had these things, so this is gonna be an adventure for myself and for you guys. All right, let's try the pomelo one first, because that sounds interesting. So for those of you who don't know what a pomelo is, I think it's like those big giant grapefruit looking things, except they're green, like they're huge. They're like the size of I would say they're almost the size of a bowling ball, like a small kid's bowling ball. And it has a very unique flavor to it. I had one a long time ago. Like I used to work in the sushi restaurant, and the owners were half Vietnamese, half Chinese, and then they would eat a lot of pomelo, and the mom of the owner, she would give me some because, you know, because at that time I was single, and she is a very kind lady, man. Seriously, she's always worried about like nutrition. She treats everyone like they're her children. So she will always bring me like food to make sure that, you know, I keep up with nutrition, you know. Oh, it smells so good. It smells just like mango. So this one is with the pomelo. As you can see, I'm gonna zoom into the camera there. It's very small. It's probably the size of I would say it's the size of like maybe a half a dollar in Chinese, or not Chinese, American 50-cent coin, like diameter wise. And it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. So, and as you can see, there's icicle on there because I brought it out from the freezer. I don't know if you can see it close, but it came out of the freezer because it's like an ice cream-ish dessert. Let's get this going first. I'm getting a lot of eggs, but I'm looking for seals. Yeah, these are the mini versions. So I'm going for a lot of seals. That's my goal, is to get a lot of seals. All right, I'm gonna cut it and see what it looks like on the inside. It might be kind of tough because it's frozen. Oh, it looks like it could be ice cream. I don't know if you can see that clearly, so I'm gonna hold it up and then let it focus. I'm gonna let it focus. So it does have their logo in the front. On the top, so if you combine it, it has their logo, and then on the inside looks like it's a layer. Looks like that's ice cream, and then maybe the darker part is pomelo. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more on a fork there. There we go. All right, let's get to eating. Wow. That is very, very sweet. A little bit creamy. And as soon as you put it in your mouth, it just melts. Like it just literally breaks down. And the skin is very soft. The outer skin is very soft. but it doesn't taste like a skin. It has a humongous burst of flavor once everything melts in your mouth. Like, boom! It's like this water. It's like a tiny water balloon of just flavor in your mouth of mango and pomelo. Boom! Right in your mouth. And it doesn't taste artificial. You know how like when you eat food, especially American snacks, it's very artificial tasting. But this one actually tastes like mango and pomelo in your mouth, like a combination of. It's not as sticky as mochi. So mochi is kind of like this rice gelatinous cake kind of snack. But it doesn't have that gooiness of mochi. Wow. Woo! That is so good. It's so aromatic. Like, the taste is like elevating into my nose as I'm eating it. That is delicious. This thing is... Oh, by the way, this box, it was $12 US. So divided by 4, so that's $3 a piece. So right there, I just ate $1.50, which is equivalent to 3 large potions in the War of the Visions, right? Boom! It's like a grenade is going off in my mouth. That is very, very good. I'm gonna save that for the fiance there. Let's try just straight up mango and see if we taste the difference. Because I enjoy pomelo, it has a very unique flavor. Let me cleanse my palate with my lychee iced tea. Wow, I'm just like drowning in Chinese culture right now. Like, if you love this kind of stuff, go out to your local store, see if you can get some. And support your small businesses, right? As you can see, the hand is sneaking in and stealing the pieces. Support your local small businesses, because that's where your economy is. So we got these from actually a combination of Chinese store / Korean store. We have like 4 Chinese stores in my city, but 1 major Korean store, which the Korean store is the one we've been going because they're very good. All right, so it still has the icicles on it, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's clear the plate. So looks wise is the same. So we're just gonna cut to the chase. Pun intended here, cut to the chase. All right, probably should have a better knife for this. So I'm gonna show you the insides. It looked pretty much just like the other one. I think the only difference is the syrupy dark part of the inside on the other one is the pomelo flavor. Pomelo flavor. Pomelo? Like mellow yellow. But this one has none. This one is straight up mango. Let's see if there's a big difference. There is a difference. Very subtle difference. You can taste the difference because the combination of mango and pomelo is very aromatic. It's like I explained it. Imagine you're eating a tiny water balloon in your mouth, and as you're biting into it, it bursts, and it's just full of flavor. But this one is not explosive. It kind of just like, you chew into it and the flavor is there, but it doesn't get accentuated over time. It retains its mango flavor throughout the entire duration of it melting in your mouth. So which one do I like? I think I like the pomelo mango one a lot better than this one. This one you can just enjoy it as a straight up mango flavor. There's definitely a lot more citrusy. I didn't taste the bitterness, but in the real fruit, absolutely you have that. But because this is a very sweet snack, it's very sweet. This one is definitely, in my opinion, sweeter than the original version or the traditional version. And which one would I prefer? I think I would prefer the ice cream. It's not ice cream, by the way. It's not ice cream. It's kind of like this creamy paste. It's like a creamy paste. It doesn't have the ice cream consistency. Imagine if you took a paste and you froze it. That's what that is. Wow, I'm really happy you guys are joining me for this, because I feel a little self-conscious when I eat in front of people. But in the traditional Chinese culture, people will be smacking away. You know, you probably see that on TV about, people think that's kind of rude. And they'll be like, nyam, 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 you know, but that's their way of showing the person cooking the food. They're showing appreciation, because the actual smacking suggests that you're enjoying the food. But, you know, as an American, I was always told, you know, I was always brought up and raised and educated to chew with your mouth closed to show respect. In other cultures, is the exact opposite of that, right? So, but this is just, is it worth $3? I don't know, but one thing I learned about life is I'm always willing to spend money on food and less likely to spend money on other things. Because you get to individually enjoy food, whereas other things, you can't really enjoy it all the time. Am I right? So, you know, yeah, maybe a nice car, nice house, nice clothes, nice electronic goods, but those kind of wear away over time. But food is an experience that you can always just enjoy as an individual. And you can take it with you. You're right. Like the original, the paste, it sticks to the roof of your mouth. It's like the stickiness, like to just, it just like to adhere to your to everywhere in your mouth. This one doesn't have that effect. Yeah, I definitely think the panela one is a lot more enjoyable in terms of taste. So my recommendation is, if you want to celebrate Chinese cultures and whatever, go out and get yourself like a small portion of mooncake. Enjoy it with some loved ones. It's a very good tasty dessert. Just bear in mind, it's very heavy in calories. And if you're calorie counting, something you want to weigh in your routine. If you have opportunity to stumble upon the snow skin, definitely give it a try. Very unique experience. A lot different than the mochi that we talked about earlier. Very tasty. It doesn't have this like heavy tasting, make you feel guilty kind of sensation after you eat it. Whew. Now I probably consumed like 3,000 calories today. But worth it, because this is my Thanksgiving. And that's the beauty of being, you know, multicultural, is that you get to celebrate the good holiday part of pretty much every culture in America, right? And you get to kind of like take advantage of that. In November, obviously, hopefully we're gonna do something with Thanksgiving, and that's that. But this was definitely an experience for me. I hope you guys enjoy the kind of stuff. I know some people don't enjoy watching other people eat. So for those of you that stayed and watched me do this, I appreciate it. Appreciate your support. So it is. Mooncake, definitely in my experience, is very overrated in terms of pricing, right? I understand they put a lot of effort in creating them, and the fact that they have the art, and then of course you're also purchasing the packages, and there are cheaper alternatives. But with anything in life, you're buying like the brand. This brand, I guess, is one of the better ones out there. So we bought this because, you know, she's from Hong Kong, so she trusts the Hong Kong brand. And I don't disagree with her. So a lot of the other products, in many ways, it goes with a saying, cliche, you get what you pay for, right? So I think ultimately, I bought enough cheaper alternatives of things in my life to know that a lot of times it is because of the fact that they're cheaper for a reason. So yeah, that was a fun experience though. I'm like stuffed. I think I was like almost falling asleep after I ate dinner because the meal was very heavy. Oh, wait. Let's check it out, Chung. Let's see what you get on your ribbon. Dang, man, you got a +4. Wait, doesn't this give you extra dodge down here? Where's the extra evasion? Does the extra evasion only show up when you get a +5? Or does this thing go up? Because I don't see it. Wait a second, never mind. There it is. So there's evasion, +5, and then I think at +5 is evasion 10, right? So, very nice, man. Congratulations. Oh, durian, man. One thing I learned in life is there are some things I'm afraid to eat. I'm really afraid to eat, and durian is one of them. First of all, durian stinks like rotting flesh. And I've watched enough shows on TV that most people tell you that it tastes like... What does it taste like? It tastes like jelly, gasoline. It has like this very specific taste. One thing I've learned is sometimes you look at food and it looks like it tastes bad, but it can end up tasting really good. Then there's food that looks really bad and the taste matches that look. And from my understanding is durian is one of those things. Durian matches in terms of look to the taste. But some people stick to the idea that they love it. And because of the stinkiness, it's actually banned in a lot of hotels in Asian countries, from my understanding. So I have never actually tasted it. Maybe one day I will do it. Like in Taiwan last year, I had stinky tofu. And I have to tell you, walking in those night markets in Taiwan, there were tons of smell. Like it basically literally smells like sewer. It literally smells like sewage. And that's what stinky tofu basically smells like. But when you eat it, it doesn't taste like what you smell. It actually tastes very good. So maybe for durian, I would definitely give it a try. But I'm having my reservations on it, to be honest. I definitely have reservations on that durian. See, like me and you were like conflicting. Like you think durian tastes good and it tastes maybe better than it smells, but for me, stinky tofu, it's good. So durian, the taste is very rich. So I was told it tastes like petroleum jelly. It's like caviar for fruit. I mean, I know people love it. I know people love durian, so, and it sells. Like that product sells. It moves. No matter how much they produce, it sells. So clearly there's a humongous market for it. I will give it a shot. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to taste anything and everything one time in my life. Because the worst thing that could happen to me is I throw up, right? If I think it tastes gross, then I will never eat it again. One thing I don't like is liver, man. I've tried to eat liver so many times. And I can honestly say I'm just not a fan of liver. I can eat almost any organ in the body, but I cannot eat liver. Yeah, durian's selling like crazy everywhere. I used to watch that show. What's that show? With that one guy, I forgot his name. He's bald, he's Jewish. He has his own show where he Bizarre Foods, that's what that show was called. I think he got kicked off of the show for making like some kind of racist comment or something, which I thought it was kind of out of character, right? Here's this Jewish guy who's going to literally every country in the world, eating all the different cuisines. And if he's racist, it just seems awkward to me. You know, you're sitting there going around appreciating all these cultures, eating all these like different food from different cultures, but you're inside, you're a racist. I don't know. I didn't really follow up with the actual storyline. Supposedly he says something prejudice or something, and the what do you call it? The travel channel, they decided to ban him from the show. They kicked him off the show, and I guess they canceled the show. Which is kind of weird, you know? Well, the show is called Bizarre Foods, but he was just tasting different food from different countries, and he was tasting things that your typical person wouldn't be perhaps like eating. Like I think in like one of the African countries, he was eating raw camel meat. I thought that was interesting. Like I was thinking to myself, would I eat raw camel meat? Probably. I wouldn't mind it. Like I would try it, right? But one thing I can't eat is the gamey meats. That I tend to like gag. Kiss my fiance after eating durian. I don't know if she'll enjoy that because she doesn't like durian either. So how are you liking Super Stern? Like, do you think he's worth the hype? A lot of people like him. Since you have a 99 version of him, what do you think? I'm gonna have an 89. I'm gonna have a Limit Break 4 version of him soon. Actually, believe it or not. But again, I will reveal that tomorrow. It's a little side project I've been working on in anticipating tomorrow's content. My Friday free thinking content. And it was actually pretty funny because someone earlier from stream brought that idea up, because he's a beginner and he was having some issues, and I think it makes for a good topic conversation. Oh yeah, he's weak to magic? It seems about right. A lot of really heavy hitters in this game are weak to magic. Can I help you, sir? What are you doing, man? Hey, what are you doing, buddy? Why don't you come up to the stairs here? Taro. Come here, buddy. Yeah, why are you sitting over there? There you go. Alright. Come on, join us. Yes. Yes. Yes, buddy. Thank you. That's my little buddy. He wants to join the stream. You can't have any mooncake though. That's not what this celebration is for. Dogs can't eat that. You're gonna have some major stomach issues. All right, so yeah, I think it's a good time, especially during this 6-month period, to show people are the companies very friendly to beginners if they're joining in right about this time. And so I decided that I was going to see if that was true, to test the idea that is the game still beginner friendly. So that's going to be a good topic of conversation tomorrow. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like he doesn't do anything for me to warrant me go out and spend like lots of gems, busy orders, cash on. But I feel like Gilgamesh is always going to be very high ranking because Gilgamesh does something special, right? He does speed boosts and he does a lot of damage. Although he doesn't really excel at anything in particular, right? He's just a very annoying unit to deal with. Whereas I think Super Stern, he seems to be a little bit easier to deal with. So that's why I decided to go all in on Gilgamesh instead of Sexy Stern. I just think like he's one of those units that if I don't seek him out and he lands in my lap, I still wouldn't make too big of a deal about him. And plus, look at the way he stands. It looks like he's like sort of leaning back, but then he's kind of leaning forward. He's like sort of like doing this little weird lean. I don't like that design. Like I thought he would be a lot cooler design if he was like a little bit more menacing looking, but I'm not a huge fan of the way he stands. So for me, it's a easy pass. And I know there's a lot of supporters of him in terms of him doing really good damage. I know Cabbage got excited when he got him to the level 99, Limit Break 5. But, you know, end of the day, damage is damage, right? Although somebody said he did 9,999 damage to Warrior of Light or something. I don't know how they did that, but I don't see how they do it. Do they even have a defensive ignore or defense penetration? Defense ignore? Yeah, like he hits hard and he can hit from a distance and he has AoE attacks. So in arena he can be very obnoxious. But I don't think he's like unbeatable, right? Evasion can be unbeatable. They actually can be very annoying if the RNG is on their side. So having, say, Ketone, Venera, and hurt him, the Warrior have nothing. Yeah, that's a possibility. But man, I just can't imagine like Super Stern is something that's worthy of me dropping like $200-300 on. $200-300, I can get a Nintendo Switch. Or maybe like a PlayStation 5. Actually, I don't know how much a PlayStation 5 costs, but so my car lease is ending soon, so tomorrow I have to go get a new car. Maybe not like I'm not gonna get one tomorrow, but I'm gonna pick one out and then go in and trade in my old car because my old car is a lease. So my lease is up, so I gotta get a new car. Yeah, I had issues with some evasion the other day. Like no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't hit this Venera at all for some reason. Yeah, the evasions, anti-slash seems like the meta for the top arena from what I've been reading. But I've never gotten there myself, so I would imagine I will have to be pretty heavy spender to get there. And the other thing is, if I was to climb arena, you have to spend a lot of gems to refresh and then make sure you have all of the units that's featured that week so you can get maximum points. So I think this is going to be a very chill week. Glacial have 100% hit. Wow. So she's going to change some things then, huh? And the other thing is like Holy does counter evasion, but usually the units that cast Holy are very squishy and they're usually slow. So I try to counter the evasion team with my Ayaka. They got in 2-3 hits in before I was able to get a second Holy in, so. Yeah, Ketofe is pretty good. Still not lucky enough to get her myself. Even though she is in the featured banner, so. It has been very tempting. But will she be able to land a hit on, say, Venera on evasion though? I think that's my worry. Like, the thing is, Venera can land a hit on Ketofe, right? But the Ketofe can't land a hit on Venera, then it's gonna be hard to counter. I actually thought about summoning But then I thought about it. You're right. If I just spend the gems to buy the shards first and just wait for the day that the unit lands in my lap, then I still have many days left. I still have what? We still have 8 days until the free summons end, so there's still that chance I might get her. Very nice. I probably should be doing that in the future too, right? When there's like a evening where there's lots of people, a lot of activity in the stream, then I can just do a lot of friendly matches with people just to have some fun. I know last time a lot of people wanted to fight me, but I know I'm not very good at this game, so kicking my ass really doesn't prove anything. Yeah, well, you know, spending doesn't guarantee you to win, right? It's not like you're not guaranteed to win just because you're spending. But if you're gonna auto them, then this just seems weird to me. The whole point of it all was to not be able to auto, to be a real live PvP. If you're gonna go in there and auto, that just seems pointless to me. I mean, it doesn't seem pointless, but it seems counterproductive, right? It seems counterintuitive. Like, why would I want to join something that's considered live PvP and then both players just end up autoing? Like, that's kind of weird. See, I would imagine Super Stern plus, what's her name? Eldira would be makes very good farming teams for multiplayer. Because one of the problems with Mediana is that she does have cast time. So I don't think you really save that much time farming, because Eldira doesn't have cast time, but she has animation still, right? So I think if you have 4 Medianas versus 4 Eldiras, then of course 4 Eldiras would be much faster. But so far, like, honestly, most of the stuff, ideally, you farm on your own. And multiplayer at this point in time is becoming more and more of a luxury. I've played this game long enough that I have enough potions to last me for a very long time. In fact, I can't use my potions fast enough. And this ribbon, people are saying, you're gonna spend tons and tons of energy to farm things, but honestly, I don't think you need to spend too much energy to farm the ribbon. I don't know how much you spend energy-wise, but it doesn't seem like it's that excessive, right? If I use up all my small potions every day, that's like about 700. That should be enough to get me my boss tickets. And then subsequently you can just farm it. But for me, that grind, again, it's not worth it. Right now, it's not worth it. I think I would just, if the event keeps coming back, I'll just keep building upon getting ribbons later on. Yeah, me too. Like, if I spend 99 cents, I buy the pots. I don't buy like other things. But I think I will buy the skip ticket ones too. Like, I think for me, I would totally auto the Rune Blade, like just leave it on and auto. But the only problem is, for your time, your server reset is different than my server reset. My server resets early in the morning. Your server resets in the afternoon. So you can just go to bed and leave it on all night long and you have no interruptions. But for me, I have interruptions because at 4 a.m. my time, the server resets. Subsequently, it would just turn off my auto run. So I will have to unfortunately do it during the day. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either, right? I do it on the day, I can just go and, you know, watch some Chinese dramas or watch some sports, watch some TV or hang out, do some cooking, do some working out, whatever, even though I don't really do a lot of workouts. But so Rune Blade is good for defense, Golden Blade is good for offense, right? I'm definitely gonna make one for Rain. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea if I'm using him as a tank. Get some more anti-slashing resistance. Because even if I don't have a weapon that gives me a lot of magic attack, Rain can still put up good damage. Like if he could put up 2,000 damage without the Crimson Saber, with the Rune Blade, you know, with the extra slash attack resistance, and then equip, you know, anti-slash resistance. So my understanding is if for Rune Blade you want to go for aim or you want to go for critical. Because even at assault it does less damage than the Golden Blade. And since Rune Blade is more of a defensive weapon, you just probably want to go for crit for accuracy because you just want to be able to land your hits. And in many ways it makes sense, because if you give it to Rain, you do less damage, obviously, right? There's no arguing against that. But having the aim is really good for casters because they tend to miss a little bit more. Exactly, and that was the reason why when I looked up how good Gilgamesh's second master ability is, woo, I got bought into the Gilgamesh hype. So Stern for me right now is a pass. And I'm gonna work on Gilgamesh to get him to level 89 and then start taking him for a ride. Hey Chung, what is your ranking of your guild, like in terms of Guild Wars? Earlier I did a match, and right now we're in Platinum 1. And it's been pretty rough. Like since we merged, all of my matches have been very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Very challenging. Most of the time I pretty much just get beat up. A lot of good defense, a lot of good equipment people are using. Like in gold, I didn't have too many issues. I will probably lose a fight here and there, but man, in platinum, every defense, every person has like decked equipment and things. Yeah, well that explains it then, because you need to have a lot of active players in order to climb. But when we do win, we get a good amount of guild medals. Even when we lose, I think we still get reasonable amount of guild medals. Like they say, it's true, the rich gets richer. Do you play any other games, Chung? I know there's a lot of people in chat right now, or excuse me, a lot of people in stream, but seemingly you and I are the only one having a conversation. Other people are not engaging themselves in the conversation. Do you play any other games? So I think I'm gonna cut this off around 10:45. Seems about fair. Another 20 minutes. Then we can chill. I got you. Right, I think we had this conversation before. Fair enough. Hey, yes, you're right. I was actually gonna say that. I was actually hoping for more people to engage that conversation, but I wanted to talk about Genshin Impact as well. It's basically what, like, I don't like to use the word copycat, but it's a game that's very similar to Legend of Zelda, right? So I think there's I think there was a small migration from War of Divisions to Genshin Impact, and I think that's okay, because there's always going to be players out there that don't stick with games long term. They tend to game hop. Honestly, I play enough Zelda that for me, like, here's how I look at it. Genshin Impact is a great platform for streamers, because those people that have large amount of followers, where they just literally just go log in every day, play the game, turn on their streams, and then just be in your own world, right? You cannot engage yourself in conversation through chat during those type of streams, I noticed. Because right now I don't have too many people in stream watching me. I think I see 18 people, and there's only a couple of you guys engaging in conversation with me. But imagine if there's 1,800 people in here. There'd literally be almost zero opportunity for me to insert myself into a conversation. And the same thing goes for people who want to ask me questions or want to have a conversation with me, the streamer. Like, they will type something and boom, the chat is going so fast that it just quickly removes that question or whatever. So I'm gonna do 2 more pods and then that should be good. Yeah, I mean, I figured he would. Like, he said that his channel was aimed towards just playing games in general. And that's like, he used the World of Visions to gain tons of followers, which he succeeded at. And then if he moves to a game that is even bigger in terms of attracting players, then he can only grow more, right, on his channel. But his goal is to be like a professional streamer. I actually watched one of his videos a long time ago, maybe a few months ago, where he says he wants to be the best streamer ever. Now, I don't know how you actually evaluate that. I'm assuming that's based off of just, revenue generating. But that's not my goal. I'm not here to be a professional streamer. Even though I wouldn't think that's a bad idea, but I think that game is a great game to stream, right? You're just playing an MMO by yourself, right? And other people are just watching you do it. So they're maybe watching their shows, or they're playing a game, they're farming in the background, and they're watching you play this MMO by yourself. Although I feel like that might be hard to do if you're actually playing that game and you're watching someone else play the same game. Because there's a lot of exploration, a lot of real-time combat. Whereas this game, I'm sitting here and I'm just like farming, and I'm actually engaging in conversations and not really paying attention to the game that much. It's not one of those games that's gonna be like, here's the concept I'm not enjoying in that game, right? It's a MMO. So you're playing Zelda. Imagine you playing Zelda with Link, which is what Zelda is. And then all of a sudden you wanted to play Zelda with, say, Zelda. Or you want to play Zelda with Ganon. And you want to play Zelda with one of those goblin creatures. Then you have to beat the entire game using a different character. Now, for me, I'm all about farming and grinding, but that doesn't seem fun to me, where I'm beating an entire MMO game and doing the same thing over and over with different units. It's basically what people did on World of Warcraft, right? You're raiding, you're trying to get better gear and using your quote-unquote main unit, and then all of a sudden you have the urge to play through the experience of the whole game with other type units, maybe a different class. But that can only keep my interest for so long. This game here is not the same game in that sense, right? You're basically playing this game to further your ranks. You're not playing this game to take on a role of a specific unit, right? Am I right? You're just playing this game, adding more units to your roster, and then you're conquering whatever content the company puts out. Yeah, we're discussing Genshin Impact. I guess we're waiting for you to come back in. Right. See, I thought about that, Chung. I thought about doing that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I've noticed. If I decided to do that route, that means I might get a lot of more subscribers. But what's going to end up happening is I have to create content for 2 games. And then I'm going to get tons of subscribers, maybe. Maybe I'll hit 1,000 much faster. But then I have to juggle 2 games and potentially spend on the new game, right? And then as soon as I give up one of those games, I'll most likely lose all the subscribers that are tuned into me because of that other game. And yes, I will grow quite a bit, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, I mean, is that really something I want to do, right? Like, I feel like if I can juggle games, ideally I only want to juggle 2 games. Anything more than that, it is very tedious to do. I guess we'll wait for you to come back in on the next one. Insert name here is basically Zelda. I mean, if you want to just say it out, like say it out loud, you can just say it. It's basically, some people call it a Zelda knockoff or Zelda ripoff, or whatever you want to call it. But it's basically Breath of the Wild, except it's using anime characters. It does look really good. It looks very impressive. But I have a feeling that it's not the type of game I will enjoy playing in terms of in front of an audience. You know what I mean? Like, you're just running around killing things, very random, and you're looking for treasure. I think it's a perfect game though for streamers. If you're a professional streamer, if I was a professional streamer, that would be the game I'll be hopping on right now. Yeah, most of the gacha is weapons. There's only a few characters in there. Because imagine if you have 200 units to choose from. Would you really want to play the game 200 times? You know, from beginning to the end. And then you, for example, let's say you take your first unit and you do all the explorations, you find out where all the secrets are. Then subsequently, every unit you want to level up, you're going to have to go through those same things over and over again. That's insane. That is insane. 0.2%? Man. Actually, isn't that kind of like the rate for Summoners Wars? And I used to play that game. I spent $0 on that game. Not even 1 penny. For 3 years, I didn't spend 1 penny. But I am very interested in perhaps adding to the content creation on this channel, maybe Epic 7. I know there's a lot of people play that game, and it's a big community. But I think a lot of people are also tired of that game too. But those are one of those games where you can take a break from War of the Divisions and show that. But ultimately, that game, Epic 7, is just basically PvP at the very end. Don't wait for you? Okay. It's basically just PvP. And you'll be logging in, and you'll just be doing your PvP, and there it is. Wait, insert name here. Can you repeat that? What do you mean? Like, this game as in which game? Are you talking about War of the Visions, or are you talking about Genshin Impact? Genshin Impact, or Genshin Impact. I think it's Genshin, right? Or is it Jin? Because I know in Street Fighter, that old dude is called Genshin. Or Jin. So it should be Genshin Impact. Shin means new. And Jin, I forgot what that means. I think it means old. Old new impact? Okay, alright. Yeah, it does have a lot of hype behind it. Everybody's streaming it now, I believe. I think that's like right now the big hit. Everybody wants to get a piece of that pie. And honestly, if I want to jump on that bandwagon, I have to do it now. If I wait another week or two, it will be the pie will be so far split. Because that's basically what happened to me with War of the Visions. The game was released April 20 something, right? I didn't start making content until about 1 month after the game release, where many of the YouTubers now are so ahead of the curve in terms of establishing their foothold, right? You know, I joined the party a little bit later. Ideally, you want to join in right in the beginning to try to get that piece of pie. You know, if people find you to be entertaining or whatever, then you can grow pretty fast at that time. Genshin just came out on the 28th, so ideally that's only 3 days ago. I could join in right now and do it. I imagine that's where a lot of players are probably watching streams of that game because it's fresh, is in its infancy, and it's something brand new, you know? And that's probably why they gave us all of a sudden this brand new free summons for 10 days deal. They probably realized that they could be taking a hit from that game. Like the Square Enix and Gumi. They were probably afraid that they might be losing some business to that Genshin Impact stuff. And I believe it. I think a lot of games have probably lost a player base to this new game. But the thing is that the game is nothing new, right? There's nothing new about it. It's just refreshing. It's because it's a open world game that is perfect for the streaming format. War of the Vision is not very streamer friendly, if you will. Most of the time I'm doing this. I'm sitting here and watching auto runs while we're having a conversation. Most games so far have been flavors of the month. All the games that I try to play on my channel has been flavor of the month, with the exception of Ark Knights. I think that game still has a humongous following. But it's not the type of game that's very streamer friendly either. Pretty much all it really is each week or every other week there's new content, like a event, and then streamers will just beat those content, and then that's your stream. That's it. That game is heavily more strategy than anything else. And the problem with that game is something is only refreshing when you first encounter it. Once the strategy is out there, that's it. That map is pretty much dead. There's nothing to really talk about that map anymore. And of course, they pump out units like crazy on that game. I think War of the Visions will eventually have its own crowd of players, and will most likely stick with that crowd of players for a very long time. But personally, I'm not surprised that Diggs already moved, or potentially thinking about moving on to a different game, because he's in it for that. He's in it for the purpose of expanding as a streamer slash YouTuber. I'm not saying he doesn't love War of the Visions. I'm just saying that that wasn't his goal. His goal wasn't just to play War of the Visions. Yeah, there's Honkai Impact 3 or something like that. That was pretty much the same game. It's from the same company. And there's tons of those open world games. I mean, the thing is, like, once you become a streamer or a YouTuber or whatever, and that you have enough followers, you can literally play Tetris all day. You can go back and play like anything from any era of video gaming history, and there you're gonna still have people watch you. It's ultimately, you're just building a brand. Once you build your own brand, then that's it. You're gonna have the followers follow you no matter what you do. I personally don't have a following subscriber / follower base on my channel for people to suggest that I play specific games, right? I'm not at that point. People are not making suggestions. So I don't go and like expand that. I just want to stick with War of the Divisions. And if the dust settles and I'm end up being the only War of the Divisions player, I'm okay with that too, right? Because if you look at Cabbage's subscription player base, he has like 10,000 subscribers. But roughly actively watching his channel is somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000 viewers. So I'm only at 500 viewers. So if I can win over another 4,500 viewers onto my channel, then to me, that's a humongous success, even if it's that a year down the road. Because I know for a fact that the viewer base is there for War of the Divisions, but I'm imagining Genshin Impact will have something like, probably like people can hit like 50K subscribers over a shorter period of time because of the fact that there are a lot of people wanting to play that game. But the same hype was said about, what is that game called? That game that was everybody's dubbing as the pretty game. Oh my god, what is that game called that came out a little while ago? Oh my god, I forgot the name. Exo's Heroes. Oh man, people are hyping up that game so much. It has that aesthetics of this like gorgeous game. And then I started playing it, and then I'm just like laughing at this game, that game. I'm like, dude, this cannot be a game that people are really hyped about. Like, yeah, it's Mobitch. It's called Exo's Heroes. And I'm like, yeah, this game is alright, but I can already see myself wanting to get out of this game as soon as I have the opportunity to do so. I wasn't a fan of the art, and I wasn't a fan of the trying to be really deep combat system when it really wasn't. It was very simplistic, and it was one of those games that tier list was legit. You know, it was all about tier lists because you need to have these characters to be successful, and that was pretty much it. And for me, it was like blah. I gave it a huge thumbs down when I first saw it, and then I heard from the grapevine that in Korea they haven't updated that game in like 7 months. So those are all telltale signs of a dead game. So I didn't join on that bandwagon. I'm glad I didn't. But the more and more I play Epic 7, because that's one of the games I'm playing now, and more I play it, I really enjoy that game. It's like a better version of Summoner's War, like a much better version. It's very grindy. It's very grindy. I mean, come on, it's a Korean company made game, right? I think Korean games are grindier than Japanese games. Like, I thought War of Divisions was grindy, but man, when you play Korean games, you're in a whole new sport of grindiness. So I'm really enjoying Epic 7, believe it or not, and I'm playing right now at a very relaxing pace. I don't push myself. I don't do anything extracurricular. In fact, I don't even do all the events. If a new event comes out, great. I look at it, check it out, great. I don't care. I don't really bother much about it. And I've been actually kind of lucky lately. I got a 5-star equivalent to, what is it? Equivalent to a UR version of this game. a UR version of a unit, and I got that from my free pool. And then I got a really nice unit just like a couple of days ago. So I think when you don't expect too much from a game, you tend to be rewarded, right? It's kind of a weird mentality. But the more you pray, the more you hope for a unit in a game, less chance that you might probably gonna get it. Nexon PTSD, yeah. Nexon, right now, like I'm really just thinking there's only a few companies on Mobage that's worthy of playing their games. There's not many left, to be honest. A lot of these companies are just in it to scrape some cash from the bottom of the barrel as much as they can. Kalorama, we have been playing this for a while together, man. Or I don't want to assume you're a man or a woman, so. Yeah, I know. I call it the carrot in front of the mule syndrome. Holy shit, what happened? How did I die? Who killed me? I haven't been paying attention, but apparently I keep dying. But I think in the future, I'm gonna only probably stream on Friday nights, and then I'll pick another night at random. Because given the fact that there's probably gonna be a lot of people streaming Genshin Impact and things like that, for the sake of growing my own channel, I don't want to be in that competitiveness part of it. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, actually, I don't mind that game at all because it's like there is no real end game, right? You play Guild Wars, you play Arena, and that's the real end game. But those type of games with those type of end game are the type of games that I want to treat it from a casual perspective, even if I'm spending. Because all it is you're piling on rewards that you already have tons of. And that's not a good way to reward endgame. But in many ways, gacha game system itself doesn't have a very real true way of rewarding endgame. Because no matter how you sit down and you want to brainstorm what a real true endgame is for gacha games, I don't think there's really a perfect version of that. I think all in all, I don't think I'll ever stop playing War of Divisions. I think the only way I'll stop playing is if literally 90% of the people leave, right? Why would you think Laswell would be the October daily? Because I thought Glaciala would be the daily. Because I don't think they're really pushing Laswell. Because I don't think Laswell is one of those units that a lot of people have like a humongous attachment to, right? Because isn't he like the partner with Rain in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius? They already made the mistake of making Frebia exclusive. I think that was a poor mistake that they did. Hopefully they learn from their mistake and don't make any global featured units, like global exclusive units shouldn't be limited. I think that's ridiculous. Like, if you're gonna make it exclusive, why would you make it limited? And besides, like, Frebia isn't exactly like an impressive unit to begin with. The last worm, yeah. I didn't like the way he looks. I didn't really like Laswell's design. He seems like Laswell seems like this lazy attempt to try to duplicate Sephiroth kind of thing or something. Alright, we're gonna do one more run and then I think I'm done. Yeah, this game does have shortcomings, but honestly, like, I can't think of many near perfect games out there on the market. Alright, Kaylor, one more run, okay? Let's get it rolling. I like Final Fantasy a lot. I think they stand out as something, as they stand out as a brand. She has 49% magic resist with max passive. Yeah, that's great, but you know, she gets one-shotted by a super strong dark slasher, then Rain can get pretty high. You know who has the most? You know who has a lot of magic resist? You know who has a lot of resist in this game? Is actually Grace. Grace can be built to have 0%. No, Grace can be built to take 1 damage from magic users. Really? I didn't know that. I guess I never played the Alchemist Code long enough to know that. Goomy, goomy, goomy. Goomy, don't be goomy, man. Don't be doing goomy things. One game that I really enjoyed, and I've never enjoyed a game before I enjoyed War of Visions, was the 7 Deadly Sins. Like, I was playing that way more hardcore than I was playing War of the Visions. And then when I decided to make content on War of the Visions is when I slowly migrated away from 7 Deadly Sins. That was a great game, but then I think it reached the point where the company was going to start screwing it up. I mean, Netmarble is pretty well known for screwing up great things that they have access to. So, end of the day, it's about greed. Greed is a very interesting thing. I know exactly what's going on. Kalorama keeps killing me on purpose. Whoever you are in chat, you are awesome. Because I can see what you're doing. You keep manualing at the end and you keep killing me. Very nicely done. You thought I didn't notice. I finally picked up on what you were doing, man. Or woman. Man, woman, whoever you are. Very cool. Very cool. I appreciate that. The fact that you keep killing me is very nice. And the fact that you're killing me with Flare, that shows very good respect, because you could probably easily kill me with just Blizzard. I already kind of sense a lot of people are leaving War of the Visions for Genshin Impact or Genshin Impact or however you want to pronounce it. Because I see that on my friend list, and then I'm seeing a tiny migrations. So, to be honest, like if those players were willing to leave this early, 6 months into a game, most likely they weren't really invested in the long haul anyways. And yes, this game does have shortcomings, but you know, you gotta give them some chances, right? I don't think they've made too many drastic mistakes. So I'm okay with where we're going, where we're heading in terms of the game right now. So I think it's better to make that assessment at the 1 year mark. I think that's a strong indication whether or not you want to stick with the War of the Visions or not by the 1 year mark. All right, Kaylor, thanks for the runs. You say that now, but I've been juggling between, like, how many games am I playing? I'm playing War of the Visions, Epic 7, Arc Knights, and Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed. So I'm playing 4 games. I'm juggling between 4 games. I think I'm done for the night. I better go walk my dogs and kind of burn some of this calories off, because I ate a lot of calories tonight. All right, thank you everybody for coming. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank y'all for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow's going to be brand new day, brand new material, and I think in the future I really want to stream twice a week, but we'll let the Genshin hype die down a little bit before I do that, because I don't want to compete against, you know, a lot of these other streamers. So yeah, I play 4 games. I'm pretty hardcore in terms of mobile games. I think the most I ever juggle was 6, but eventually I have to start shaving them now. And remember, I play 2 accounts on War Visions, so that's technically speaking 5 games if you think about it. Anyways, thank y'all for coming. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And again, thank you for the support. I'm working. No. I don't spend on all the games. Only War Division do I spend the most. So the other games, I think I spent like $10. So nothing serious. All right, guys, take care. Okay.